Now we are focusing on bioclimatic zones. Uh, bioclimatic zone, zones. Introduction. The the Earth offers a wide range of habitats to plant and animal life biomes. Physical factors such as latitude, altitude, and climate determine the dominant natural vegetation in a particular area. Plant life helps the accumulation of soil, and in turn the type of soil uh, influences the types of plants which can grow. Environmental map shows a generalized view of the dominant natural vegetation types across the world. Tundra. In the highest latitudes, ice inhibits plant growth, and the soils are very thin. The long cold winters uh, lead led to areas of the ground that are permanently frozen, permafrost, and it swamps where pockets of ground have briefly thawed in the summer. Vegetation consists of small flowering plants with very few trees. Uh, in the few dry areas in Antarctica, uh, um, lichens are the only plants which grow in high mountains at all latitudes. Conditions similar to the polar tundra can prevail with ice and snow uh, present for much of the year. Here you can see Victoria Island, Canada. And here you can see mountain tundra in Pyrenees. Mountains. Vegetation in mountains regions is often zoned by altitude, with the higher ground inducing rainfall and having a cold air temperatures. Mountain foothills are often draped with tree cover, but only ground hugging plants can survive at higher levels where ice forms for much of the year, and steep slopes make it difficult for soil to accumulate. Here you can see coast mountains in Canada, and here you can see Indian Bar, Washington, USA. Needle-leaf forest south of the Arctic tundra stretches stretches a broad band of evergreen coniferous forest, a boreal or northern forests. The leaves of these trees are needle-shaped and uh, resinous to resist the cold. The trees grow all year round. The trees grow all year round, and conditions produced uh, acidic acidic soils with organic matter leached downward as water percolates through. Here you can see southern Sweden. Here, Mount Rainier and National Park, Washington, USA. Broadleaf forest, uh, deciduous forest occur in more temperate latitudes with summer growing season and winter rest. The leaves of the deciduous trees are brought to collect sunlight in the summer and are shed in the autumn. A rich humus build up in the soil in the drier, warmer conditions. Most of the original forest in Europe has been cleared to make way for agriculture. Here, Langras, France, and here, Windermere, England. Temperate grassland. Rich fine-grained soils allow grasses to dominate large areas of the interiors of the continents. Most uh, fertile parts of the uh, areas of North America, the steppes of Asia, and pampas of South America have been given over to agriculture. Here you can see Poltava, Ukraine, and here Flint Hills, Kansas, USA. Mm, Mediterranean scrub, hot, dry summers and short winters uh, characterized the Mediterranean climate, producing evergreen shrubs and woodland. Although named after region around the Mediterranean Sea, this biome also occurred in California around the Cape of Good Hope and the Southwest Australia. Here, Perth, Australia. Here, Guadix, Spain. Deserts. Deserts have negligible rainfall. Their dry soils are eroded rock containing very little organic matter. In some areas, bare rock is exposed. In others, the great thickness of sand have accumulated. The sand seas or edge of the Sahara and Arabia. Hot deserts occur in the tropics. Cold deserts have risen in the temperature latitudes due to their distance from the sea. For instance, the Takla, Marken, and Gobi, and other deserts of the northwest USA. Natural vegetation in desert areas is concentrated along in the banks of large rivers, around isolated springs or oases, and where higher ground induces rainfall. Here you can see uh, Erg, Czech, Algeria. Here, Hamid, Morocco. Here, savanna, seasonal rain alternating with drought supports the tropical grassland savanna, and dry woodlands, which are characteristics of much of the Africa below the Sahara. You can see B Plateau, Angola, Botswana. Here, Serengeti, Tanzania. Tropical rainforest. Year-round warmth and rainfall produce the tropical rainforest of South America, Africa, and Southeast Asia, home to a huge variety of plant and animal life. The dense vegetation canopy is dominated by tall evergreen trees. Seasonal rainfall produces the monsoon forest of the Indian subcontinent. Amazonia, Brazil here. Here the thunder clouds builds over the rainforest, Brazil. Freshwater, rivers, lakes, and marshes provide a freshwater habitat for aquatic life. In some areas, shallow wetlands have established a fertile soil which supports a wide range of plants, fish, and birds. In others, such as high mountain lakes, the water is too acidic to support much life at all. Here the Lake Ontario, USA, Canada. And here lake in the Sierra de Segura, Spain. Coastal water. In the sea, plants and animals must be able to cope with the saltwater environment. The shallow coastal waters of the continental shelves are a rich biome with 98% of sea life species living on the seafloor. Nutrients are brought with sediment from the land and by deep currents forced to upwell at the edge of the continental shelf. Raleigh Bay, North Carolina, USA. Cape of Good Hope, South Africa. Deep ocean, the open oceans is the most extensive biome, which although it is split into distinct vertical zones, the top 100 meters, 98 yards, where microscopic phytoplankton have enough sunlight to photosynthesis, is the most productive zone, with fertility dependent on the seasonal variation of sunlight and upwelling of nutrients. Deeper down, a variety of animals survive, preying on each other or dependent on the rain of dentitus from above. At the mid-ocean ridges and hot spots, fumaroles provide a habitat at which is uniquely independent of energy from the sun. Here you can see North Pacific. Here plankton bloom in the coastal plankton bloom in the coral sea. Coral reef build up around the calcium carbonate skeletons of marine organisms called polyps, which grow in clear, shallow tropical waters. They fringe continental shores such as Great Barrier Reef of Australia and mid-ocean islands such as in the South Pacific, where great thickness of coral materials have built up above eroded or sinking volcanic islands. Coral growth keeps the living part of the reef within a few meters of the sea surface. 1/3 of all fish species find shelter and food around coral reefs, and they have been called the rainforests of the sea. The Great Barrier Reef, Australia. Coral reefs of Mackay, coral reefs of Mackay, Queensland, Australia. Ice accumulates as glaciers and ice caps at high latitudes and altitudes. No plant life can survive on the ice surface, but plankton find a niche underneath sea ice where enough light penetrate to maintain photosynthesis. Plankton from the basis of the food chain in the polar oceans, which support fish, mammals such as seals and polar bears and birds. Many of these animals use the sea ice surface to travel, hunt or rest, but breed on ice-free island and coasts. Larsen Ice Shelf, Antarctica. Mulock Glacier, Antarctica.